Hiroshima, Japan, August 7, 2025. The city of Hiroshima witnessed a memorable evening as the advanced screening of the highly anticipated war drama, Yukikaze, took place with much fanfare at the Hiroshima City Cultural Exchange Hall. The event was further elevated by the presence of lead actors Yutaka Takenouchi and Daikon Okudera, who took to the stage after the screening to deliver heartfelt greetings, drawing thunderous applause and even tears from the crowd. With its themes of resilience, loss, and hope set against the harsh realities of war, Yukikaze promises not just gripping performances but also a deep reflection on human endurance. The Hiroshima screening marked the film's first major public appearance ahead of its national release, and the city, carrying its own tragic wartime legacy, proved to be a poignant backdrop for the event. A story that echoes through generations. Yukikaze, directed by acclaimed filmmaker Takahiro Matsuoka, is based on the best-selling novel of the same name, and tells the powerful story of a World War II reconnaissance pilot who becomes disillusioned by the horrors of war. The narrative oscillates between the battle-torn skies and the psychological battlefield within, presenting a haunting but poetic exploration of loyalty, trauma, and the search for meaning in chaos. The film is expected to spark conversations, especially among younger generations unfamiliar with the full gravity of the wartime experience. For Hiroshima residents, many of whom carry familial memories of war and loss, the screening felt especially personal. Setting the scene, anticipation in the air. Fans began queuing outside the Hiroshima City Cultural Exchange Hall hours before the screening, hoping to catch a glimpse of the stars or secure front-row seats. Some attendees, dressed in yukata and traditional attire, said they were drawn not only by the film's subject matter but also by the rare opportunity to see Yutaka Takenouchi, a veteran actor with a loyal fanbase, and Daikon Okudera, a rising star known for his intensity and emotional range. Security was tight but unobtrusive, and the mood was festive yet respectful. Hiroshima's humid summer air didn't deter the enthusiasm as local media and camera crews lined the red carpet. The screening. Silence, sobs, and standing ovations. From the opening frames, the theater was gripped. The sound of jet engines and explosions filled the hall as Takenouchi's character, Lieutenant Shoji Kawashima, navigated harrowing aerial missions. The cinematography, raw, bleak, and beautiful, was frequently punctuated by moments of aching stillness, particularly in scenes where the protagonist reflects on the futility of violence. Okudera plays the role of a young engineer-turned-soldier, Hiroshi Namiki, whose idealism is gradually eroded by the realities of combat. His chemistry with Takenouchi created one of the emotional pillars of the film, and several audience members were visibly weeping by the film's final scene. As the credits rolled, there was a moment of hushed silence before the theater erupted in applause. The standing ovation lasted for over 3 minutes. Stage greeting. This story belongs to Hiroshima. Following the screening, the hall darkened again before lights lit up the stage where Yutaka Takenouchi and Daikon Okudera appeared, greeted by a wave of applause. Takenouchi, dressed in a sharp black suit with a somber yet warm expression, bowed deeply before speaking. This story belongs to Hiroshima, he began. We bring it here first because we know that the emotions, the memories, and the pain this city holds are woven into the very soul of this film. Takenouchi, known for his roles in deeply human dramas, spoke of the responsibility he felt in portraying such a psychologically complex character. I spent months preparing. Not just physically, but emotionally. I had to dive into the mindset of a man who saw the worst of humanity, and yet still clung to something, hope, perhaps, or guilt. It wasn't easy, but the people of Hiroshima gave me strength. Daikon Okudera, dressed more casually but with a humble demeanor, followed with his remarks. I wasn't alive during that era, but I grew up hearing my grandfather's stories, he said. He didn't speak much about the war, but when he did, it was with this deep sorrow. I tried to channel that silence, what's left unsaid, in my performance. Okudera added that he visited the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum before filming began. The museum changed me. I walked out with a lump in my throat and a fire in my chest. I knew then that this movie had to do more than entertain, it had to remember. Audience reactions. It hit straight in the heart. Audience members, ranging from high school students to elderly war survivors, shared emotional reactions as they left the hall. I couldn't stop crying, said Sanae Takamura, 62, who attended the screening with her granddaughter. My father served during the war. Watching this movie felt like seeing a piece of his soul. 17-year-old Takuya Nishida, a local high school student, said he'd never seen anything like it. We learn about the war in textbooks, but it always feels distant. Watching Yukikaze made me realize how real it was. How real it still is. A group of college students, part of a peace studies program at Hiroshima University, expressed hope that the movie would be screened internationally. It has universal messages about trauma, duty, and redemption, one student said. Everyone needs to see this, not just Japan. Behind the scenes, a production rooted in respect. Director Takahiro Matsuoka, who was not present at the screening due to post-production commitments abroad, issued a statement read aloud by the event's moderator. Hiroshima is not just a place. It is a symbol of humanity's worst moment and its greatest potential for forgiveness and peace. Yukikaze is my humble tribute to that journey. The film's production was noted for its meticulous research. Military historians and survivors were consulted throughout, and actual locations in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Kagoshima were used for authenticity. The fighter aircraft scenes were created using a mix of practical effects and CGI, giving the film a uniquely visceral aesthetic. Legacy and future prospects. With its emotional depth and historical weight, Yukikaze is already being eyed as a major contender for domestic and international film awards. Early reviews from critics attending the screening described it as a masterwork of modern Japanese cinema, and one of the most emotionally arresting war dramas in years. But for the cast and crew, the impact of the film seems to go beyond accolades. If this film makes even one person stop and reflect on the cost of war, then we've done something right, Takenouchi said during the closing remarks. Art cannot change history, but it can change hearts. Final words. A powerful start to a national conversation. As the crowd slowly dispersed into the warm Hiroshima night, conversations lingered, about the film, the war, and what it means to remember. The advanced screening of Yukikaze wasn't just a cinematic event, it was a shared act of remembrance, a moment of collective reflection in a city that knows the meaning of both loss and hope better than most. The film is set for nationwide release on August 15, coinciding with the anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II. Advance tickets have already begun selling out, and with the momentum from the Hiroshima screening, anticipation is running high. For many, the message of Yukikaze is clear: history must not be forgotten, and peace must never be taken for granted. Photos from the event. Takenouchi and Okudera standing side by side in front of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial backdrop. Audience members wiping tears as the credits rolled. The standing ovation mid-applause, capturing the emotion of the moment. Handwritten message boards from the cast, displayed in the lobby.